Hello, everyone. Good to be back. We have another young Indian with us, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Sipra Samarpita. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Sipra.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the platform that I'm getting. When I got your message, I was very thankful for a platform for the young Indians, for the Vidpeds that you're putting out, that it gives such a platform to the young Indians to share their part of the story. So I'm very thankful, sir. Okay, so I'll just start on. Okay, hello everyone. This is Sipra Samarpita, native of Cuttack, Odisha, and often known as Silver City. And having completed my undergraduate degree in economics from Cuttack, from Revenue University at Cuttack, I am currently pursuing my master's in economics at IIT Madras. So, to tell a bit about myself, so my interest and my field is generally drawn towards the world of economics and basically towards the world of psychology and finance. It's the where it is where these both worlds intertwine. It's like exploring two sides of the same coin and understanding how people think and feel about money and how their emotions actually shape their financial decisions. So my interests currently uh, move towards these directions of where psychology and finance intertwine. So I feel like it's like a complex puzzle where the pieces of human behavior and financial markets intertwine, and where financial economics provides the framework, the rules of the game, while behavioral economics as a part brings the human element to it and adding colors and complexities to the world of finance. So by combining these two perspectives, I hope to uncover hidden patterns, to give uh, to challenge, to change some traditional assumptions, some norms, and find innovative solutions to financial problems, if I say so. But having said this, my interests also extend beyond financial and behavioral economics. I have previously explored the realm of gender economics as part of my undergraduation, as part of my undergraduate projects, and several papers that I did as part of my courseworks. So they basically dealt around the world of gender economics and examining, how economic systems impact different genders per se. So, but most recently, I have also delved into other specific domains of economics and not specifically to finance and gender economics. I have also delved into the world of agricultural economics, which was as part of my internship at NABARD, which very recently ended. And these experiences allowed me to understand the challenges which are faced by farmers firsthand at a micro level by studying their needs as well as their realities at the grassroots level. And more to say, this experience at NABARD was a very, transformative experience, if I say so, because, it provided a very front seat, and to look at government policies, to look at their implementation, to look at their strategies and how these strategies and their implementation and these processes impact the lives of rural masses in India and particularly in agriculture. So I witnessed firsthand how these policies are designed, in these corridors of power where people sit at higher levels and they brainstorm what policies to take up and how these schemes and programs should be taken up at the grassroots levels. So and I basically observed how these demands and the needs of the farmers actually varies across regions, and how existing policies often it often falls short of addressing the diverse challenges that farmers face. So all this experience basically, gave me an understanding of the ground realities even before I go into the world of crafting policies, because that's where my final, not I would not say final, where my actual goal lies, to go into the realm of policy making. So understanding these impact of political changes on the agricultural policies was very evident during my time at NABARD. So, and this exposure, kind of played towards the dynamic interplay of policy as well as implementation, and how the realities of farmers actually ignited my interest in agriculture economics. Because before starting my journey, before starting my internship at Harvard, I was very much novice and a newbie into the field of agricultural economics. But through this opportunity, through this experience, I realized what the critical role of economic analysis is in understanding the rural areas and forming this informative and effective policies. So, so this is me. This is my experience at Nabad. These are my interests. So over to you, sir.
Well, tell us a bit more about your journey. How did you decide to get into economics, all that? So
Okay.
people want to know how you made your decisions.
Okay. So I think it was a very long journey, and it took me a long time to know what my interest was and how I ended up choosing economics as my career path, career path, as well as my academic background. So I would feel like the correct word would be my path to economics was very, circuitous. It went around and around, and at last came to me. So basically, during my high schools and during my 10th and 12th times, I was very interested in physics. I was a very science student, a particular science student. I was very interested in science, and I opted for science after my 10th grades. And though I did have some, dormant and latent interest in economics, that still persisted after my 12th ended. But I felt like taking up science was it. I would not say it was put on me by pressure or by force, but I felt like it was a external force. It was an invisible force that told me to take up science. So though I don't complain about it, I'm glad that I took science. But by the time I started reading various economic texts, because even when I was in my 12th grade, I used to study on the curriculum of the art students who took up economics. I would read their books, I would read their curriculum, and I would find those interesting. So I think, as far as my memory goes, I think I started reading Poor Economics by Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo, and I feel like it gave me a compelling glimpse into the lives of world's poorest. I could see how that book challenged, the conventional wisdom about poverty, be it about revealing how seemingly, irrational decisions are often economically sound in the context of extreme deprivation. So these concepts, it basically underscored, the importance of, how empirical evidence in policy making that could highlight the potential for innovative solutions to take up as solutions of global poverty. So by emerging, economics with storytelling, how the authors could make the complex issues accessible and could captivate a reader like me who was not so interested in economics and not so interested, who was interested but did not take up economics, and I could relate those texts. This book actually was a very stepping stone in my journey towards taking up economics as an academic subject. So after that, and I remember, if I remember correctly, after I read this book, I was thankfully by a senior. I was recommended a book called The Nudge by Tyler and Sunstein, and this book actually this was the book that actually introduced me towards the fascinating world of you know behavioral economics per se. So it was basically like discovering the hidden puzzle for me when I realized that people often make economic choices based on their gut feelings, which is very true. But I did not study. I did not feel like that could be taken up as an area of study, as an area of research. And I found that how people make their economic choices out of their habits rather than their old logic was a very interesting read, which was presented very nicely in the book. Now, that book was a revelation for me. I feel like it explained me, how uh, sometimes people choose less optimal options, even when they have better choices available with them. Uh, these examples, these simple changes, how can they nudge people towards making better choices without restricting their freedom per se. It was a very interesting read, and that captured my mind as to how I could take up behavioral economics as my area of interest. So I felt like, Nudge was more than a book for me, because it was a window into a world where economics met psychology, basically. So it showed me that economics isn't just about numbers and theories, it's about understanding people and their behaviors in the real world. So the book presented to me practical examples, real world applications, and made economics very relatable and exciting too. So after I was done with my standard 12th exams, and I was faced with uncertainty of COVID pandemic, because it was 2020, and I could feel the pressure of, the post 12th standard decisions that I had to make as to which field to go into. And I was unsure of whether taking physics or economics as my bachelor's. But amidst in between all these, I stumbled upon the book which was in my to be read list, which was Good Economics for Hard Times. Yes, Good Economics for Hard Times, which is by Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo again. Since it was a very newly released book, and at that point of time, having been released in 2019 itself. So in 2020, my curiosity peaked at that time. So I was like, let's take up this book and start reading. So that was for me a time when I went into a space where I could read those books and not think about what decisions I need to make, whether to take economics, whether to take physics. So I took a time out and read the book, and as I was going through the pages, as I was going through all the chapters, I could feel the world of economic and its possibilities opening up for me. I feel like the book did not just present to me economic theories, dry economic theories, just like uh, a textbook would. It told me in a storytelling manner and unravel the real world problems with data, with human stories, as I will say. And I was basically captivated by how, they broke down complex issues into understandable terms, and I could understand what they were trying to say, even though I did not take up economics as a subject that I had understood properly at that stage of time. Still, I could feel the spark that the book ignited in me, and confirmed it to me, like, yes, that I want to pursue economics as a subject, because I felt like at that point of time, I felt like it was more than a subject, and it was a tool for understanding, the world and creating positive changes. So there were various concepts that related to me in that book. If I remember correctly, there were various ideas where small and, targeted interventions, how can they have a disproportionately large impact on large mass of people? It was like discovering, a hidden superpower of economics, and how the book talked about giving small cash transfers to poor families that would lead to significant improvements in their lives. So this idea actually ignited within me a desire to create actually tangible change in the world. So it made me realize that economics was not just a subject about grand theories. It's about, finding practical solutions to real world problems. And I started to envision myself as someone, who could design and actually implement these small but impactful interventions. So it was like putting together a puzzle where every piece, no matter what, how small, they contributed towards the larger picture of improving people's life. So this book, these concepts of behavioral economics, these concepts about how the lives of the poor people work, these concepts actually fueled my determination to develop deeper, I would say, deeper into the world of economics, and explore how I would contribute to creating a more equitable world, I would say. So, so I feel like it was a journey. It was a journey worthwhile to take from science to economics. It was like discovering a hidden treasure where you don't know where to look. So I feel like the map for me, the macroeconomics unfolded very gradually and slowly.
Mhm.
So I did not have a clear destination when I started. I did not know what to take up as a subject. But with each step, with each reading, with each new addition of concepts, I felt like the path became clearer too. So I feel like saying at this point of time like that it's okay actually if you don't know exactly where you want to go and what you want to do at school or after school. So I feel like life is full of surprises. So and your interest might change over time. So it is important that you stay curious, I feel like. Because I was curious at that point of time about economics, so I could open up new concepts and new experiences. So I feel like every step was leading closer towards my interest and my passion. So I feel like saying like your job, your interests, your area, it might be hiding in any place. It might be hiding in any corner. You just need to explore it and you need to find it. But I feel like it's never too late in to start something new. Even though there were people around me telling like how I could go from a background in science to economics. Though I feel like this is not so uncommon in places like North India. It was very uncommon in a middle class family like me, where people around me were are all used to seeing doctors and engineers around me. So taking up economics as a subject was unconventional in my family, I will say. But I feel like since my interest grew deeper and deeper, I could tell my parents, I could tell my sister like that I wanted to take this subject
Mhm.
as my career option. So yes,
And
that is
then,
my journey.
right, but then the masters, you didn't want a job, you wanted a master's. How's that
Yeah.
decision?
Okay. So after I had done my bachelor's from Ravencha University, uh, though there were placement opportunities coming up, though there were people sitting for placements, I felt like the 3 years in my undergrad were not sufficient for me to know the vast world of economics and the vast realities of realities of concepts that still exist in the world. I felt like I could dive deeper into those if I took up my master's, and hence I started my journey of preparing for my master's in my second year of undergrad. Uh,
Mm.
so, and I could persuade my mom easily though at that point of time, because until that till I got into that point of time, she knew that my interests were far away from science. She knew that my interests were quite literally into economics only. So she was very much willing to help me in this journey.
Okay. And how is it for you now?
Yeah, okay, so it's going great now as I speak to you, because currently, and as I said, I'm pursuing my master's in economics at IIT Madras, and the course structures actually help me get into the realms of behavioral economics and see how they play with the deeper concepts of general economics and how the psychology of people could affect their financial decisions. So I'm still on a path to discover where these two concepts actually intertwine, the concepts of finances and concepts of psychology. So this is where I'm at currently now.
And the future?
Future, I did say that I'm quite interested in getting into policy making. So that's what I'm trying to do now through my through everything that I do, be it my course projects, be it all the subjects that I take up. It has always been about policy making and making some lives better at even at a micro level, as we say, because having experienced my time at NABARD, I could see at the very micro level how good policy making actually affects people's lives in massive ways that we can't even imagine. I could, during those times, I could take up and see, visit districts, visit the specific individuals and take up their concerns, their demands, and see how those aligns actually with the current policies which are in place, if they're working for them, if they're not working for them, and as to what policy decisions that need that needs to come for their well-being and not see the political aspects of it, because
Mhm.
as institutions like NABARD and RBI, they are for the people. they make policies to not deprivate even a single person. So I feel like my path leads me to policy making as a
Okay,
field.
that's wonderful. Anything else you want to add there?
I would say, as I said just a few minutes ago, I feel like your time to exploring a path, it can be long, but it will be worthwhile. So I feel like your interests, your passion would be anywhere. You just need to find it and just give some time to it, and it's never late to find one. So even if you're 30, even if you're 40, so it's go for it and explore your interest. Is what I would
Okay.
say.
All right. Thank you, Sipra. I think we can end it here today. And I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so